already. Lord Ricaz, the Portuguese driver. This is his first race. XRT Inside's making his debut. And I believe F1I Norris, or we'll refer to F1 Norris as Jamie. Jamie is a solid driver. He's very quick, but he's making his debut tonight. I've seen XRT Inside, I think, during a couple of the UCR races. He's a solid driver, and I think he's going to do very well in this league. But the driver to watch tonight, and the driver to watch throughout this season, SFR Fins, no doubt has the best pace, really, of anyone. Oh no, Angelo's gone from the session. I will invite him back in. We've got 7 people here in the live chat. That's great. Oh no, don't invite him to the party. Invite him to the game. Get your setups sorted, Angelo. I didn't mean to invite you to the party. That was a mistake on my end. But if you want an interview, well, talk about the race, you're more than welcome. For the first few minutes, whilst we get you back in. We do our interviews. If we do interviews, we do them during qualifying. The first drivers are entering the circuit, and we have the McLarens out on track. The V-Carbs, Cal and DT are both on the circuit right now. We'll do gap to the leader. So let's take a look at DT here. So he's straight out on the circuit. Now he's getting straight into the action. Nothing is going to stop this guy, and we're going to see for the first time just how quick he is. He crosses the line. The first qualifying lap of the season is underway. Let's go on board as he approaches the first corner. Hold on, give me a sec. Sorry, I made a mistake on the live. There we go. Everything's sorted. So there's DT going through the first chicane. It's very difficult through turn 2 and 3. Momentum is such a difficult thing to cope with at that part of the circuit. In through that tricky braking zone, you have to widen it out so you can get a good run through turn 5. And then the double apex, turn 6 and 7. On the exit, you need to push so hard. Use a little bit of the errs if you must, and then absolutely send it through the S section. This is almost fully flat throughout. But he's had a little bit of a lift there, so he's going to not get the most out of that car as we approach the Faro Sol. The third sector is such a difficult part of the track. He's run a little bit wide into there. He's not invalidated. Drivers can run wide through that part of the track and not invalidate their laps. It's a super technical section, and he's going to cross the line in a few seconds' time. We're going to see what lap time he will set. A 1:15.8. No doubt that one's going to be beaten very quickly. He will need to improve that lap quite significantly if he wants to get high up on the grid. Let's see who's crossing the line next. XRT inside, only three quarters of a tenth up. LTK Tarrier puts the first big time on the board at 1:13.8. Vibs 1.3 seconds behind. Let's see, the Mercedes is going to cross the line now. That's Vapidcoot 74, and he's going to go to start his lap. I wasn't quite sure if he was starting or ending it. For Klimt, goes P2, 7/10 off the pace, but you do have to remind yourselves this is early in the session for Klimt. He won, I think, 2 races last season. He won the Belgian Grand Prix, but every single circuit is different. So this track, certain drivers will excel over others. Jatin in the chat, supporting his teammate tonight. Hopefully you have a great race next week. How many have we got in here? We've got 6 viewers. So good amount of views. Give yourselves plenty of time to get in for the live stream. Come on, it's going to be a great race today. Qualifying is the boring part, but The drivers need their opportunities to get their lap times on the board. Let's see what Vapenkoot does. He's going to cross the line in a few seconds' time. And I have a feeling this lap isn't going to be too spectacular on the boards. He's going to go into P2, but he's still 2/3 of a second off of LTK Terrier. He has such amazing pace at the moment. Tom Gorian, Season 11 champion. How will you go tonight, my friend? The Scouse driver entering turn 1. This is his first qualifying lap of the season. But I saw the Christmas lights on the back of the car. The Christmas lights we refer to is when the drivers are in ERS mode none. He has invalidated his lap time. So if he has the fuel in the car, he will keep those Christmas lights on and go again. His teammate just behind. Another driver on an outlap, Lord Ricaz. He is making his debut tonight, as I said, but it's another unknown. How quick is the Haas driver going to be tonight? Now, we've seen Haas a lot of success in the past. I have won 3 races in RFL for the Haas team myself, and they were some bloody good wins. They were brilliant. The Haas team I love personally, so I hope that Lord Ricaz does well tonight. F1I Norris, our own Jamie. He's going to be looking to get high up on the grid here. The expectations of him, I'll admit, are quite high, but let's just see how he gets on. Again, it's another unknown. He raced in the UCR Mexican Grand Prix last night. I don't remember where he finished, but he has had the preparation for this race, and this is the important one tonight. RFL, the pinnacle of league racing, is back. Well and truly. Just a reminder, if you're just hopping into the stream, you don't know who I am. I'm Scott. I am a brand new commentator for the International Paddock team. I am a 9-time RFL Tier 1 winner. And I have about, 30 podiums to back myself up as well. So, who better to commentate on the league than myself? I know this league very well. Not joined by Cal tonight. Cal wants to fill up his 1 race a season portfolio. He's racing every season. He's racing tonight again. Let's see how he gets on. Currently P6. So, he's about mid-pack, so we'll see how this one goes. But Jamie is about to cross the line now, so let's see what time he puts on the board. It's nothing special. He's in P7, just a 10th behind Cal. What is going on with Jamie? Because that's a bit out of character for him. He needs to find about 2 seconds. I don't expect that from him. Angelo is in the session. Is he? Is he not? I will take a look. Oh, there we go. We've got the Twitch alert. So we'll be expecting a lot more people to enter the chat now. I think it's best that the Twitch alert actually comes about 10 minutes after we go live, because that's actually 15 minutes since we went live, I think. Yeah, so still watching Jamie go around the circuit. I don't believe he's on a lap. No, he's cruising about. He's going to enter the pits at the end of this lap. Tom Gorian out on the track again. SFR Fins. He has entered the circuit for the first time. Now, this is our Season 10 champion. And he has so many wins to back himself up with as well. In fact, actually, I can get the chart and see exactly how many wins he has on the board, because we do have a nice wee tab in the RFL Discord of the RFL history. So, SFR Fins actually has the joint most amount of wins in RFL history. He's our Season 10 champion. He has won 19 races in RFL across 13 seasons of this league. TMS Sora also has 19 wins, but one man who I have not spoken about and is extremely disrespectful of me that I haven't so far, LordJames. He has went into second place. He's 2/10 off of LTK Terrier, who is on another level around this circuit this season. Terrier, he's always been a strong qualifier, but I have a feeling that this boy is going to do so well this season. LordJames is our current champion. He's won 13 races in this league, the third most amount of anyone in this league. And the Ferrari driver maintains his role at the team for this season, that he's got a new teammate returning to Ferrari on the track for the first time this season, Angelo Lissimo. He is an RFL race winner. He's won plenty of RFL races. He won the first ever RFL race all the way back on F1 2017. So he is about as old school as you can get as far as RFL drivers come. He is a legend of the league, and this is his first qualifying lap of the season. The DRS enabled, the Ferrari driver hurtling towards turn number 1. There's a yellow flag set at 1. That is just the Alpine driver moving out the way. SFR Fins entering sector 3. Now he's got Tom Gorian. 5 Vapid Coot is going to be the next one to cross the line, with Fins just behind. Let's see what lap time the Scottish driver can set. He's our Season 8 champion, and he goes up into P3. Fins goes up to P2. So LTK Terrier, one of the first times on the board, and he's still not been matched since. Let's see. Angelo Lissimo is the only driver so far who hasn't set a lap, and he is pushing through the second sector. Those fantastic S to right, to left, to right, to left. Brilliant section of track. This part of the circuit, the Far Roussel, it is so technical, it's so difficult to manage, especially if you're inexperienced, if you've not practiced much of the circuit. Angelo, though, he's put in a poor lap time, 1.7 seconds slower than Terrier. So we'll get one more shot at it. So we'll see what lap time he's going to set. Vibs still in the pits. We'll see what he can do for Clemt, starting his lap. LordJames also in the pits right now. LTK Terrier. Oh, the boss music has started playing. He's back for a second bite of the cherry. This is going to be a big moment for LTK Terrier to see if he can indeed take pole position tonight. And actually, in Mexico City, taking pole position is a bit of a dodgy strategy, because you'll get completely... I'm trying to think of a word for this. You'll get swallowed up towards turn 1. So many cars getting slipstream off you. But for Clemt, I said this guy's quick. He currently is purple in sector 1, but he has actually invalid his lap time. I didn't see that, but he has. So he's going to have to go straight back into the pits, fit a new set of the soft tires on that car, and go again. Here he goes, entering the pits now. There's a slow Mercedes in the third. No, it's not Mercedes. Sorry, that's my bad. Sorry. When I'm looking at the screen here, it's a bit difficult to make out the colours on the board, on the on the screen. XRT Inside has just crossed the line. He has improved and up into P8, but he will need to rush back to the pits to get a new set of tires on if he wants to get a crack at pole position here. Lord Ricard's still in the pits. He'll be needing to improve. DTY entering turn 1. LTK Terrier goes even faster. A 1:13.5. That is ludicrous. How has he pulled that one off then? Utterly manic. utterly crazy lap time from LTK Terrier. A 1:13.5, nearly half a second quicker than SFR Fins and LordJames. What are we witnessing? Fantastic lap from Terrier. Now this guy has been improving so much over the last year or so from when I started league racing with this guy. And I just knew there was something about him. And I knew this season he's going to completely turn up the dial all the way to 110. And he is currently doing that one right now. LordJames is setting his lap. Let's see what the reigning champion of RFL can do in his Ferrari, entering the turn 4 and 5 chicane. He hits the apex on the left, hits the apex on the right, widens out the corner. The double right-hander, little bit of a lock-up, gets the apex on the second one. And that's the perfect line through there. Now for the S's, he's going to throw the car in and then use all the curve on the inside and keep that foot on the throttle. All 100% off the throttle he'll be using entering the third sector, the far so all the fans watching the Ferrari driver go around these last few corners. The Canadian is looking to get his second RFL championship this year. No driver in the history of this league has ever won 2 championships. But he's slowing down. Is it because he's not improving? I believe that is true. Verklempt on his out lap again. Vibs is going to be starting his flying lap now. Tom Gorian is going to be starting his flying lap as well. Cal currently going around the track at a slow rate. He has just set his final flying lap, I believe. DTY also going quite slow. Rikaz hasn't went out of the pitch yet, so I don't know. He won't be back out on track. He's 2.9 seconds off the pace, so he will be starting in last position. But can anyone catch LTK Terrier? Terrier's in the pits. That is his session done. Actually, he's back out on track again. Why has he done that? His teammate Kozlezgo's in the pits. Kozlezgo's not going to improve. He's going to be low down on the grid. Angelo is out on track. F1 Norris, Jamie's out on track. But Fins, can he catch him? I think he's the most likely to get pole position here. If anyone can take down LTK Terrier, that is. So Vapid Koot's going to start his lap. So we'll see what he can do. Verklempt just ahead of him on his final flying lap. Tom Gorian actually about to complete his lap, but he's not improving much. He's going to go P6 here. Yeah, only P6 for Tom Gorian. 1 second off Terrier, his teammate from last season. The checkered flag has dropped. This is a shock result from Tom. You don't expect him to be so far off, but he is. Let's see what Vapid Koot can do as he goes through the second sector now. He's entered it. And SFR Fins, what's his first sector time going to be? He's going to cross that point where they check the times. He's 1/10 up on his time. You'll need to get a 10th in every single sector from now on. I have a feeling this is going to be close. Vapid Koot, DRS enabled. He's going to run down towards the far Sol. Verklempt already there. How much is Verklempt improving? Tom Gorian, as I said, is out of the session. I made a misclick there. It wasn't meant to go to him. Through the final corner now, actually. Let's see what time he sets. Angelo goes up to P9. Verklempt doesn't improve his position. Vapid Koot doesn't improve his position. XRT inside is going to be the last driver to cross the line, and he hasn't improved on his lap. F1 Norris, Jamie O'Connor, he is P10 on the grid. That's not what you expect, because let's go all the way down in P12. Shock results here in the RFL Mexico City Grand Prix already, and we're not even at the race yet. Let's see how this one goes tonight. We only have a few minutes to wait before the drivers begin the formation lap. Let's take a look at what you guys have had to say, what predictions you guys are making. But there we go. That is your full starting grid. A 1 minute 13.5 from LTK Terrier. That is the lap of the weekend. No one's going to beat that. No one's going to take the pole position away from him. Your first pole sitter of the season is McLaren, and it's LTK Terrier. Is this his season? Are we going to see a 14th RFL champion? That's the question on my lips. We'll see what Tom has to say when we are going, because don't press. Anyway, that's the formation lap about to begin here, and personally, for me, I'm very excited. Terrier leads the field here, and it's now time to take a look at what tyres everyone is running for this race. One thing, I'll be honest, I don't like about the F1 game is the fact that down the left hand side you have all the information on the tires, and you have to keep that up, but it's so big. It's so big. Just put the M and the 0. Or, you know, give yourself the option to move the graphic more towards the left hand side. Obviously, we have the track map there just in the corner, so that you guys can see and I can see where your favorite drivers are, where your friends are, the ones you are watching on track or whatever. It's a good setup we have here, and it's a relatively quick formation lap. Terrier doesn't like to mess around. He just likes to get the tires warmed up, get himself to grid, because he understands in this game the best way to warm up your tires is just to get a little bit of pace in the car and go on a sort of 75% pace lap. So we'll take a look here, and the final car, Lord Ricaz, getting to the grid. SFR Fins has went too close to the line, and he has disqualified himself from the formation lap. He's going to be starting a bit further back on his grid slot. Is the loudest silence in the world, and the RFL season begins now. LCK Terrier gets a good start, but just look at the slipstream. LordJames is going to try and rush him down towards turn 1. Look at Vapid. Look at Verklempt. These guys are pushing so hard towards the first corner. They're 3 wide. Vapid trying to go for P2, but LordJames is going to hold it. Terrier, surprisingly, has held the lead. Incredible stuff. Let's see what turn 4 and 5 have for us. SFR Fins, he's dropped down the field. He's going to try and get Verklempt back into turn 6 and 7. He has done that, and he is back up into P4, but he now has to overtake Vapid, James and Terrier if he wants to reach the front of the field. Angelo has made, I think, a place, or no, he's held position, sorry, that's my bad. But he is battling close. LordJames now right on the back off LTK Terrier as we enter the Faro Soul for the first time in this Grand Prix. Let's see what run he can get down towards turn 1. And if he can make the move for the leader, if he's going to just tuck in behind and see what he could do. Vapid could under pressure from SFR Fins. It's just going to be a complete slipstream fest down towards turn 1. Tom Gorian looking to make a move for P5, but will Terrier keep the lead in turn 1? Yes, he will. Fins is going to overtake Vapid into turn 1, but look at Tom making a very late braking maneuver, and he's just about going to squeeze ahead, is he? Or is Verklempt going to get the exit he wants? DRS enabled this lap. It will be at the end of sector 2 that gets enabled for the first time, because it's the DRS detection zone where it's determined. So although the first DRS zone begins at the beginning of the lap, the detection zone's in sector 3. But the crucial thing that drivers need to take into account is that the detection zone is going to affect 2 DRS zones. There's no detection point in the middle of that first chicane. So, through the final turn goes Lord James. Can he make the move? Angelo and Vibbs are having a battle for P8. Let's see if Angelo's got ahead. Yes, he has. But Lord James going to cruise into the lead. And this is where the tactics start to begin with the slipstream. And are these guys going to help each other pull away, or are they going to hold each other up? You have to note that each car, Angelo's had something happen. He has lost 2 places down towards turn number 1. Whether he's just had a terrible exit out of the final turn, or if he's just not had enough straight line speed in that car. It's a very different race when you're in P10 compared to when you're in P2. So let's just assess the current situation. And let's see who the biggest gainers are in that opening lap. Actually, I'll say this now. It's not changed much, but Lord Ricaz has had an incident. He's spun around. He's lost his front wing. So as the first stoppage to this race, it's a VSC that has been deployed. And that means that overtaking down towards turn 1 is not going to be happening. Lord Ricaz qualified last, is currently last, and it's just getting from bad to worse for the brand new driver. It's his first appearance in the league. Lord James leading the race, and it's gonna help him actually, that VSC. Ooh, don't get too close to the back of the Ferrari, Mr. Terrier. But we get back to green flag conditions. So we can see the biggest movers there. Not much of a difference, as LTK Terrier has made the move for the lead. That was an opportunistic move. Overall, this stage, it doesn't make that much of a difference who's in P1 at this current stage. That will change almost every lap, right up until they make their first pit stops. Safety cars, how much of an impact will they play in the race? DTY already getting the time penalty. So the next question that we have to ask is, how will they affect the race? Angelo losing another position through the S's. Has something happened to Angelo? Or is he just slow? That's the question I'm asking. Because he's on the medium tires, so he should have the advantage over these guys. Down towards turn 1, as I said, the position changes are going to be so frequent. You can see Terrier's got his Christmas light on. He's letting Lord James by. Him. And let's see what happens here. SFR Finn's 2 seconds back, but once he catches up to these guys, which I imagine he will, it'll be an entirely different race. Look at this, side by side through turn 2 and now 3. And that is Gazlesgo up a position. Fibbs, actually, I've noticed there, he's lost a bit of his front wing. Has that happened right as we've went live? Because I didn't notice it was there before, and he's losing places down to P10. Angelo got the position off of DT. Cal down to P13. So it's settled down, this race, at the moment. There's battles obviously going on, but it is a 2-tiered pack, I'd have to say, because the gap between XRT inside and Kozlesgo is now 6.3 seconds, which is just crazy. After only a few laps, those guys have been trying to kill each other, it feels like. There goes Terrier back into the lead, and Finn's actually hasn't made any ground. So what is he doing that they're not? Angelo getting past Vibs. Jamie trying to get past Kozlezgo, and he has done so successfully. And he'll have the DRS down to turn 4. What's Kozlezgo going to do? He's not going to try and burn the battery to keep position. He's going to hold it and stay behind the Red Bull. Another factor to play in this race, obviously, will be safety cars. Will we get one? Will we not get one? This is the first race in RFL we've had at this track since Season 8. So it's a complete unknown. Last time RFL raced here, I don't believe we had any safety cars. Actually, I think we had one. We had one, I think. But it was almost a completely different set of drivers we had back then. Will Vapid actually attempt to move here? So Finn's having his Christmas light on kind of indicates to Vapid, please overtake me, and Vapid has done exactly that. More time losses from 2, so this is an absolute dream start for Tarrier and for Lord James, because the other two aren't making any ground. Tom Gorian 2 seconds behind in this group. XRT inside, trying it on the outside. Inside going outside. That's commentary line of the weekend, that. But it's settling in, and the thing is on this game is that the races sort of coming to their own. They will evolve throughout, and by the end we will have a very entertaining battle. The races just get better and better. But look at this Tarrier, interestingly, is just about keeping within DRS range of Lord James. Are his rear tires starting to go? Because he's now not using any ERS, he's ran out of it. So Lord James actually is about to start pulling away, and I have a feeling that Tarrier's not going to be within DRS range by the end of this lap. Finns is ahead of Vapid Coot now. I believe he made that overtake on that main straight. Angelo's got ahead of Kozlezgo now, but it's 8.5 seconds now to XRT inside. So this is just a battle for P8, which at this early stage of the race is quite incredible. So I certainly know those guys in 8th, 9th and 10th, they have the pace to catch and pass the likes of Vapid, Tom, Verklempt. But right now they're just not doing that. And the gap's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Tom Gorian, he's having a bit of a difficult time because he can't keep up with his teammate. Now, Vapid Coot and Tom Gorian, teammates for this season, and it's a very interesting driver lineup. It's a brilliant pairing, I believe. There's going to be a lot of action between those two this season. Verklempt overtaking the Mercedes driver into turn 1, but Tom, I don't think he's too keen to give this one up. We'll see though how he gets on. Tarrier, surprisingly, has actually managed to keep up, because let's go in the pit lane. Now, I have a feeling he might have gotten some damage to his car, and that's why he's changed his tires. Or it's just a very bizarre strategy call. Tarrier just holding on behind Lord James for the DRS, and he can't hold any battery in that car. It's incredible. It's a crazy, crazy race this so far, because there's so many surprises. LTK Tarrier's now out of DRS range. He's not going to be able to open up that rear wing, and that's going to open up SFR Finns and Vapid Coot to catch them, and to maybe get involved in this lead pack. There goes Vapid Coot into P3 as they enter turn 1. XRT inside, becoming the next driver to overtake Tom Gorian. Tom, all the way down now to P7. We were expecting him to be so much further forward, but as this race is evolving, we're down to just these mini packs of drivers that are having their own battles, and it's spreading the field out more and more. And there's no signs of an incident that's going to happen at any point. But anything can happen. So this race will be entirely done on strategy. And for Klimt gets a time penalty, that's another factor that we will have to account for. Here is SFR Fins now on the back of Vapid 74. Still, Tarrier actually, he's doing a good job trying to get back into the DRS range of LordJames, but he's not close enough, and he keeps pressing the button to use overtake, and that might be a bad choice. I said we were not likely to have incidents. DT has spun. I don't believe he has damage. I haven't seen the other side. No, he's definitely got damage. That's his front wing gone. I said incidents weren't looking likely, and I've had to eat my own words. Just a couple of seconds later, he's going to have to enter the pits and change those tyres. Now, most of these guys will have only brought one set of hards to this race. So, all those guys who are on hards, if a safety car comes out in the next, 2-3 laps, it's just not looking good, is it? They're not going to like that. And the guys on the mediums, these guys are going to struggle because of the way that the tires behave. And that's the thing in this game, the tire behavior when they start to wear out is so different. And it's always now down to the individual as opposed to just the way that the tires are. It's now, we've actually noticed Fins has caught up to LTK Tarrier. LTK Tarrier, his Christmas light is on. Is he relinquishing his P2 voluntarily to Fins? Is this going to be the case? Down towards turn 1. Fins takes P2. And Vapid 74 right in the back of LTK Tarrier. He's looking to maybe gain a place himself. And this front pack is just about to get even closer because Fins has unbelievable pace around here. We saw it yesterday in the UCR race where he won in a Cyber. That's a realistic performance league, and the fact that he can win so convincingly in that car is quite incredible. So it's not a matter of if he'll catch James, it's a matter of when. Now this is looking like a great battle. For Klimt, with that time penalty in P5, he's got XRT inside right behind him. Tom Gorian, at the moment, actually is starting to struggle to keep up with that group of 2 just ahead. He dropped down to about 7-8 tenths, but it closes right back up again through Sector 3. Let's see what happens here to turn 1. Tarrier's Christmas lights on. He's not keen on trying to make a move on Fins, but he's going to have to. And look at Vapid Coot trying to make it almost 3 wide into turn 1. He's not going to be able to make a position here through the first chicane. XRT inside has gone round the outside, and now the inside off for Klimt. He's up into P5, but it's 5.8 seconds to the guys ahead, so we don't know what's going to happen here. And so that battle is just within itself. We'll wait, obviously, for pit stops and different strategies to play out the way we might see them play out. However, this is the fight of the race here up in for P2 at the moment, but that is more than likely going to become the battle for P1 because there's no way LordJames can hold that gap when these guys are having the advantage off the slipstream, especially if Vapid Koot in the next few laps comes into his own and manages to get a bit of extra pace on those hard tyres and can start to lap faster than everyone on the track, because Vapid Koot 74, Season 8 champion, he is a very quick driver and he's always been in and around. He finished P2 last season. Oh, contact! He spun right, LTK Tarrier. That is such a shame. Tarrier is down to P4 and he is 5.5 seconds now off of Vapid Koot, the pole sitter. That's such a shame. I'm not going to point blame. Stewards are going to have to get involved in that one. To me, it looked like just a simple breakdown in communication. These guys will be talking to each other in the party chat, Vapid and Tarrier, so we don't know what's happened exactly, or what their opinions on that are going to be. Lord Recaz having a bit of a spin through the forest. So he's all the way down still in P14, but if he keeps himself in this race, you never know, he might get some points out of it. Tom Gorian is up into P5, so he's made a little bit of progress in this pack. Now his main focus is switching to catching LTK Tarrier. SFR Finns has entered the pit lane, and he is the first driver of the main pack to enter the pits. Vibs has got a 3-second penalty for track limits, so Tarrier makes a sensible decision. He's going to switch to the hard tires and just go from here. Obviously, the last thing we want is drivers having incidents, because that spoils the racing at the front when a driver gets spun round. And I don't see why drivers would be racing aggressively not enough at this stage to have an incident, other than just a simple breakdown of communication like we've just seen there. A little bit of contact there, no spinning around, but Tom Gorian and XRT inside having a little bit of a barge with each other, but inside genuinely, because of that, could lose DRS to Verklempt, but actually he's faster through the S's in Sector 2. DRS enabled for both of them. So we approach the Forest Sol. Angelo, the next victim of the time penalties, he has gotten 3 seconds for driving off the track a bit too much. Lord James, race leader, enters the pits. Vapid Koot now, off a strategy, is going to lead this Grand Prix. Verklempt has a 9/10 of a second advantage. XRT inside does get that rear wing open. That is crucial because of what happened through the turn 4 and 5 chicane. Tom Gorian going down the inside. He's going to get well ahead before they even reach the braking zone. So that's a crucial move there for Tom, no doubt. He's going to get another crack at DRS down to turn 4. He's not going to catch Verklempt. He's not going to make a move. He's going to stay in P3, which is P6 for the moment because of the drivers who have entered the pits to change tyres. Lord James now on the hard tyres, but look at this. SFR Finns currently catching up, and that's the safety car. The safety car has been deployed, ladies and gentlemen. And DT becomes the first driver to retire from a race this season. This has blown this race wide open. Unbelievable. Vapid Koot is going to get the pit stop he needs. He's going to get onto the medium compound tyres, but is it a bit early for them? Angelos went 15 laps on those tyres. Soft tyres. That's an interesting call for Vapid, whether he's made a mistake on that or if he plans on entering the pits right away. But I am worried if that has been a mistake made by the Mercedes driver. LTK Tarrier's going to get back in this race now. So, let's recap, shall we? As the pit strategies are starting to form. the race has been reset. The drivers will now all be tacked together, and we'll see how this one plays out. So the drivers who had that disadvantage of being 8 seconds down or 10 seconds, 15 seconds down, all of that disappears. It's all now down to track position. But there'll be drivers on those mediums, and they'll be having to take those medium tires a long distance. And there's also drivers with time penalties, the likes of Verklempt, the likes of Angelo, and that's not going to help them, and they're going to drop places, no doubt, at the end of the race because of those penalties. Let's actually take a look at the race director. Let's see which drivers are close to getting the penalties. Vapid Coot has a 1 track limits warning, I think. Yeah, James has a clean sheet. He's not went off the track once. Finns has a warning for track limits. LTK Terrier has 1 warning for track limits. Verklempt has the penalty. Tom Gorian, what's going to happen with him as Vapid Coot enters the pits for a new set of tyres? He's going to drop all the way down. He wants to go in the hard tyres. He doesn't trust. That's what I thought perhaps was going to happen. That he wanted to get fresh hards and lose all the track positions as opposed to having to have those mediums, which in hindsight seems like a good idea, but when you're P12 and second from last, it does make you wonder why you've done that. Angelo is in a very good position now, but the top 3 all on the hard tires, which will behave so much better at the end of the race than those mediums. But drivers can take the mediums 18 laps, you know, so it's 18 laps isn't as long as people think. We've reached now the halfway point in this race. Well, once this lap ends, we've reached the halfway point, but let's gloss over that bit. All the strategy out of the way, we know what all the drivers have done. Everyone has made their pit stop. Those are the positions gained from the start of the race. XRT inside being the biggest mover of the lot. So the tire, we're just gonna put no detail on this until more drivers start getting penalties, because it's all about track position now. Top 3 on the hards, the guys behind them on the mediums, apart from Angelo, who's on the hards, and Vapid, who's on the hards. Most of these guys are gonna struggle towards the end of this race, and it's the familiar 2 at the top right now, LordJames and SFR Finns. I think, personally, if I were LTK Terrier, or if I wouldn't go to the stewards by that incident, because the safety cars came out and the circumstances have changed. We can sweep that under the rug. That's done. It's fine. It's racing. It happens. Shake his hand, apologise, whoever's at fault or whatnot, and move on. No point going to the stewards, I think, on that one. But we'll see if the safety car ends at the end of this lap. This will be an important moment of the Grand Prix. Will drivers get aggressive off this restart? What kind of pace will those guys we have, and what sort of battles will we get under our belt for the remaining of this race. And we'll see here when Lord James decides to pull the pin and send all 12 of the cars behind him along as he enters the final corner. Safety car restarts at Mexico City are absolute carnage, and we're going to get one right now. Look at how close the field is already. The slipstream. Look at this for Clem. There's contact on the straight down towards turn number 1. Look at LTK Terrier on the inside. He's going to get past Fizz, but they're banging wheels into turn 1. Looking for Clipped all the way around the outside. He's going to get to P2. Fantastic from him. But he does have that 3-second penalty. Lord James is going to look at this, and the first thing he's going to try and do is just keep himself ahead. Look at LTK Terrier nearly spinning out because of SFR Fins making the moves. Look at his Let's Go. He's trying to make an overtake on Angelo here in through turn 6 and 7. Look at Vibs overtaking Cal. Everything that could possibly be happening right now is happening. But for Klimt, what a restart from the Alpine driver. It's his first race as a full-time entrant of the RFL Championship. And I say it's not going too badly. But that 3-second penalty will definitely play a massive factor at the end of this race. But it all depends on the battles that happen right now, because that will determine how the field will spread out. Tom Gorian, he'll want to overtake Fins here, no doubt about it. He's going to try and maybe see if there's a gap opening on the inside, but there isn't. The DRS will only really come into effect on the next lap. I know there's a DRS zone approaching the Faro Sol, but no one overtakes through there unless you're an absolute madman. But Tom Gorian is an absolute madman, so we'll have to keep that one posted with you guys. Every single driver in the field is within DRS range of each other. This is what we want to see. Everyone has figured themselves out, and let the battles commence, the important battles here in these last 15-16 laps of this RFL season opener here in Mexico City on the F1 game, obviously under international panic. Oh, look at that! LTK Terrier nearly spinning the car around. Unbelievable how he's managed to hold that and still stay so close to Verklempt. Verklempt is going to try and close in on Lord James, who's just set the fastest lap in the race on those hard tires. Verklempt's a quick driver, and we've seen that before, and how he can win a race. But look at that, his battery's running low. He's going to have to save that a little bit. And he's a bit wide through turn 1. And that's going to harm him on the exit there. There's no one making an overtake into turn 1. But look at Jamie. Jamie has lost a bit of time. So now we do have 2 packs of cars. And it is all harem scarum at the moment with a few of these guys, and that was an unbelievable save from LTK Terrier earlier. Fantastic car control. I've not really seen drivers lose it out of there. In fact, on the F1 game, it's one of the easier games to save the car, but that was still really impressive. LTK Terrier, of all the drivers here in this top battle, he probably is the one who would spin the most. He has had a spin already today in this race, but we can all comfortably say the sole reason as to why that was because there was a little bit of contact. DRS enabled now. He's going to open up the rear wing heading towards turn number 1. And what's he going to do with this? I don't think he's going to go for the move to turn 1. Verklempt is now closing in on Lord James, because Let's Go has made the overtake on Jamie. Jamie, actually, I think the reason why he's so slow is possibly because he has damage. Is that front wing okay? It looks fine, so I don't know why he's losing so much time every single lap now. It's ever so strange. Because as I say, we were expecting a lot more from Jamie today. 6 different teams covering that top 6 in the in that front pack, and that's good to see. A nice close race. Vapid Coot though, I'm starting to think more and more that it was just a simple error picking for the soft tires. Regardless of if he did it on purpose or not, it's still a silly mistake. He's down in P11 now, and he is going to just drop further and further back from this lead pack. You know, because you kind of have to just roll with it. Roll with those mediums until the end of the race. It's important to be able to manage your tires, because when you're in that pack of cars, and you can afford to lift and coast a little bit more and save them a bit. It's a bit wide from Tarrier through the chicane. Tom Gorian actually has just made a move on Fins. I'm sorry, we missed that. I think there might have been a little bit of contact between the two of them, in fact, because I think that Fins was ghosted by the time we cut back to that. If he wasn't, my mistake, but that's what it looked like to me. We'll see how that one plays out. If it's big enough contact for a stewards report, see. But oh dear, is he going to stay within DRS range? That's the question. No! Verklempt has lost DRS to Lord James. Incredible. So this is going to open him up to LTK Tarrier, to Tom Gorian, to SFR Fins. Look at that, they're swallowing him up into turn 1, and Verklempt has dropped all the way down to P4. Such a shame for him, but he's lost the places because he wasn't fast enough, and now Fins is going to possibly overtake him. Fins is going to tuck him behind. Not close enough at this point in time, but the drivers don't have their ERS in use, and Verklempt ran very wide at the Exodus 7, and now XRT inside has overtaken him. Tarrier is going to overtake Tom through the far sole. Is he? No, he's going to fake him. He's going to go for the faux move. That's it's an interesting thing to do at this point, you know, when your best interests aren't to battle with each other, but instead just to catch the Ferrari ahead, who is leading the race by 1.7 seconds. He has played this restart magnificently. He's not lost a position down to turn 1, simply because no one else was worrying about trying to pass him. They were all focused on battling with each other instead. Fins 8/10 off these guys, and Fins is a guy who we were expecting to be at the front. He has been all day, but he's not made it very easy for himself today, and in fact no one has except Lord James. Lord James has had such a smooth run in this Grand Prix. He's made it look so easy, and that's why he is the current RFL rating champion. We expected coming into this race with the pace of the guys that this would just be a Fins race. But it's not played out like that at all. It's not been about Fins at all today. Fins has been part of that lead pack, but he's not led at all today. Angelo leading the pack for P7, but he does have that time penalty, which is not ideal, because right now he's going to drop all the way down to P10. Vapid Coot trying to overtake some of these guys now as well. SFR Fins is going to pass Tom Gorian into turn 1. That's an easy move. He's going to move himself up into the podium positions. So let's see if he can go for Tarrier as well into the chicane. No, he's going to stay behind. But Lord James, look at that. He is making great progress. and he is pulling further and further away. But at any point in this Grand Prix, all the hard work can be undone at a moment's notice. A bit of contact, a broken wing, someone crashing out of the race. We've seen that once today already. It can so easily happen again, especially in those fights that are so close. The driver spinning rounds or something happening. So James just needs to take this time that he has now, that 2.8 second lead. Oh, I've cursed it again. Safety cars came out. But you know what? That, sorry, that's brilliant. I've commentator cursed twice already in this race. What am I doing? What have I done? Verklempt in the pits, inside the pits, Angelo, Cal. No, Cal's not pitted, Cal's stayed out. Could that be a strategy for Cal 17 F1? Is he going to get a great result here by staying out? I tell you what though, he is going to get absolutely swallowed up on this exit, but Cal's a strong, experienced driver. He might not be the fastest, but he can certainly hold his own against some of these guys. Wow. Here we go then. Let's take a look what tires these guys are putting on. It's a mix of tires. Inside, Angelo and Vapid all pitting for medium compound tires. And for Verklempt, Jamie, Kozlezko and Lord Rikaz going for the soft option. But this race has been entirely flipped on its head. Lord James, LCK Terrier, SFR Finns, Tom Gorian haven't pitted and have caught up. There could not have been a worse time for the safety car to be deployed for Lord James. And I was saying, Lord James, anything can happen at any point, and it has. It's what Murray Walker said. Anything can happen in Grand Prix racing, and usually it does. And it has. And LTK Terrier has stayed out. He's P1 on 14 lap old hards. Cal is second on track on the old hard tire, on the old medium tires. He doesn't have to pit again. That is a on track position. He's got no penalties to worry about. This race is going to be absolutely brilliant to the end here, and it's all because of such a bizarrely timed safety car, which is entirely my fault. I've done the commentator's curse twice tonight, and it's incredible to have a commentator's curse twice when there's only one of you in there. I hope you have enjoyed my solo commentary tonight. It's my first time back in the commentary box in so long, but I like it. I like it. I like watching the races. I know I enjoy partaking in them, but, you know, I am all about making this league more and more exciting every week for the drivers. And I've worked with Cal, I've worked with Don Omar to make this season the best one ever. And the safety car is coming in this lap. This is probably one of the most entertaining safety car restarts you're ever going to see in this league about to come up right now. And we've been doing this league for 13 seasons, and a lot has happened in those 13 seasons. Well, there's 12 seasons before this one. It's the start of season 13. LTK Terrier, when's he gonna go? Look at the big gap left by XRT inside. That might be a mistake. Cal 17 F1. Look at this. He's gonna have the overtake on the car. And is Cal gonna make a move for the lead of the Grand Prix? No. You can't do it into turn 1. He's going to run wide. He's going to miss the apex. This is going to help LTK Terrier. And it's a brilliant move from Verklempt. But Cal might get him on the exit inside. Is he going to go inside or outside? We don't. They're going to go side by side into the chicane. Cal holding his own with 7 laps remaining in this Grand Prix. But he's going to lose out to both Verklempt and inside. And by the looks of it, he's going to be passed by Angelo as well. XRT inside. What is going on with this guy? So far down the order, and he was someone that we weren't discussing at all in the build up to this Grand Prix, and right now looking like the favourite to win. Unbelievable. Fantastic. It's the only word I can use to describe this from him. DRS enabled. LTK Terriers not looking too good at the moment. He's already drained his entire battery on that restart. Verklempt has about a third of his left. XRT Inside's not looking like he has a lot. Angelo's got half. Angelo is in a very, very good position. Cal is staying in P5 at the moment. Vapid and Kozlezko side by side. And SFR Fades is going to want a piece of the cake as well. He's going to tuck in with these guys. He's going to try and find a gap to try and overtake Vapid Coot 74 because Kozlezko has held his own. And that is Kozlezko holding position. He's now ahead of Vapid Coot. SFR Fins and P8, but look at how close the pack is getting. Cal on those worn-out mediums is holding everyone up. 2.6 seconds to Angelo now at this current time. Angelo has a penalty, so he needs Cal to do everything in his power to keep these guys behind. 5 laps to go in what has been an absolutely thrilling opening round of the RFL season here in Mexico City, live on International Paddock for all of you to witness it in all of its glory. Let's see what Angelo can do down to turn 1. Let's see, he's going to go to the outside of inside, and he's not going to get enough alongside him to make the overtake. He's going to tuck in behind, go for DRS, but Terrier, you can see now, he's starting to struggle with pace. He is losing ground, and he is going to be passed, no doubt, before the end of this Grand Prix. But all he needs to do is stay ahead of XRT inside. Fins has overtaken, and Vapid and James and Tom, and there's a bit of front wing. Whose front wing is that? Someone has lost their front wing. Tom off the circuit, trying to keep the place ahead of LordJames, and that's a penalty for Tom. And I believe that was a bit of Tom Gorian front wing off. No. Whose front wing was it that went off the car? We'll find out in a very quick amount of time, depending on who is in what position. Lord Ricaz, he is done for the day, and that is his race over. He's down in P12. SFR Fins has just set the fastest lap in the race, but look at LTK Terrier. He is doing his absolute best to hold these guys behind into turn 1. Verklempt takes the lead on track. Angelo trying to overtake XRT inside. He's trying to take 3rd position on track. We never know with time penalties if they can get removed or not. If a driver's been forced off the track in the battle. We didn't see any of Angelo's warnings. I certainly didn't spot any of them, so you never know. Same with Verklempt. We don't know if all of his warnings have just been simply just a lack of concentration, a mistake, or if he's been forced off the track by another driver. That is the conundrum of the day. We don't know. There's nothing that we know. And SFR Fins is now in this DRS train with 3 laps to go. Vapid Coot 74 is trying to close on this. Tom Gorey and his teammate, the 2 Mercedes, are going to have to battle it out for a position here in the last couple of laps. LordJames right with these guys as well on the soft compound tyres. Terrier's got a penalty for too many warnings. That is going to ruin his race, and now XRT inside is leading the Grand Prix with the penalties taken into account, obviously. But can he do it on track as well? Looking for Clems. He's going to try and keep this position for Tarrier. And look at what Tarrier's doing. 3 wide into turn 1. And now it's 3 wide with a different car. And Angelo's made 4 places in 1 corner. Fins off the circuit. Tarrier spinning out almost, I think that was. It is so close here. It's anyone's game into the last 3 laps of this Grand Prix. And Angelo is leading. How is Angelo doing this? Unbelievable. The Ferrari driver, he's looking so good at the moment, but the penalties are going to drop him down. That's the painful thing about this, but the pack of cars is all the way down to P8 with Lord James. And I'm trying to hold my voice. It's a commentator's voice, but it's not been used in so long. So we are witnessing something amazing. And Tarrier spun. He spun where he nearly spun about halfway through the race. And now he has got a 10-second pace. This race is done. He's done. He's out. That's him finished. Is he going to pull in and retire from the race altogether? That's the question. But down towards turn 1, SFR Fins is going to take the lead off of Angelo. But Angelo's going to fight it with everything he's got. Can Fins stay ahead? Can he keep the position? But look at XRT inside. He wants this more than anyone. It's his first race in the league, and he wants to overtake SFR Fins on this last lap. Look at the battery. Fins has enough there to defend. And now, actually, our focus should turn to the Mercedes battle. Tom Gorian has a penalty, which is going to drop him down the order. But he's 2 seconds behind Angelo. Can Angelo hold his ground, stay with these guys at the front, and take a podium position at the start of the season? Right now, he's on to beat his teammate, and that would be just fantastic for the Italian, who has been part of this league for so long. And I think it's a done contest. It's a done contest. As I said, Fins hasn't made anything easy for himself today. And he's been in that lead pack, and he's taken the lead, and he has ran away with it on this final lap. It took him so long to get there, and the safety car came out, and all the chaos then began. What a race we've seen today. I will conduct a podium interview with the top 3, but the big battle here actually is the Mercedes boys. Right now, Vapid Coot 74 needs to stay within 3 seconds of Angelo if he wants to take a podium here. Fins has won this race. That is not a question. He is going to pull off this victory. And Angelo is battling with XRT inside. He's going to hold position over the Aston Martin driver, but that battle's going to hurt him, and he might even get beaten by his teammate. Fins wins the first round of the season. Angelo is going to finish all the way down in P4, so he's dropped 2 places from that penalty. He's lost out in the podium. He's beaten his teammate, and Verklempt, who genuinely at one stage was leading the race in the last few laps, he is going to finish all the way down in P9. What have we just witnessed today? That is unbelievable. I am going to invite our boys on the podium to the party. That was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I don't think we can invite XRT inside. He's on a different console. So we're going to replace him in the podium interview, if we can get them in, with Angelo, who got P4. And so we can discuss with Angelo what happened with that battle and everything that happens in this race. That was a way to start the season that I have not seen ever before, and I am so thrilled.